it just slowly got more and more away from what we'd expected. It started with him kind of snapping at us a few times, and then kind of grew arms and legs really quickly to the point that you couldn't move on the sofa without him trying to bite you.
Having a dog change someone's life, right?
Well, and I thought it would change it for the better, and for a while it changed ours for the worse. And it is like, we have heard some stories from the people that join us. They are walking at 4 a.m. because they're too scared to see anyone. They have stopped having family over because it's too much of a risk. So I was desperate to try and get everyone to see what we were talking about. And I think that I've had to realize that there are going to be people that don't get it. I'm Jessie. I'm the founder of Honest Hounds. So we run an online subscription service that's now gone beyond that to a range of micro communities for dog owners across the UK and beyond.
What does it do?
What does it do? It's a great question. It helps people who are really struggling with their dogs, people that want to be proactive and set them up for success, and anyone that's looking for a community to go, me too. So I had a dog who was aggressive. He'd put us in hospital a couple of times, and I was so isolated and so alone with what we were struggling with. And so kind of on a whim, I went, we cannot be the only people out there going through this. But Instagram, social media was full of perfect people living perfect lives with their Disney dogs. And I kind of put it out there and went, here's a space for anyone else that might be struggling like us. And it turns out there were lots of people that wanted to join.
Yeah. I'm just going to dive into it.
What
happened during COVID? Because loads of people got dogs, and then this was a big issue because it was like
I think it's kind of come as a perfect storm, and we've done quite a lot of research on this now. We do a lot of webinars and educational pieces, and my business partner is big into the science and the background. So I think there's two parts to it. We all got dogs at a time where we had a lot more time, we had a lot more freedom to raise dogs, but we didn't necessarily have the social opportunities. So puppy classes weren't running, you couldn't really go out and walk with friends. And so we brought dogs into our lives at a time that was then very different to normal, and expected them to just adapt when we went back to work or when we started doing other things. And so we've got the 2 years from that where all the dogs that were bought during COVID have hit adolescence. So they've all got hormones, they've all got big feelings. We've got more dogs than ever. 13 million dogs in the UK now is just crazy numbers.
Insane, yeah.
And we're trying to cram them into parks and places like that. And as dog owners, most people don't know how to read dogs. So we don't see the interactions, we don't see the nuances, we don't see the conversations that they're having that can lead to things. And so we feel like it comes out the blue. We then get worried, our own anxieties feed into that. So we've got dogs that are reactive, but we've got humans that are super reactive now as well. So yeah, it's become a bit of a perfect storm.
So, okay, talk to me a little bit about how the idea started again. And so why did it start? How did it start? And where are we now today?
Good. Okay, so it started, I've been planning getting a dog since as long as I can remember. It was my goal as soon as I could move out, as soon as I had my own place, I was getting a dog and it was going to be amazing. I was going to get 20 dogs. And so I did a ton of research. I'm a real type A personality. I had spreadsheets, I had everything ready to go. And we decided to get a Bizzler. So really sold as a Velcro dog, sold as really cute, loves to cuddle with you on the sofa, but also if you want to go out for a run, it's great. I was training for ultra marathons, seemed perfect. And so we brought him home. I set up an Instagram to be like, here's loads of cute photos of my really adorable dog, like everyone wants to see it. And then it just slowly got more and more away from what we'd expected. It started with him kind of snapping at us a few times, and then kind of grew arms and legs really quickly to the point that you couldn't move on the sofa without him trying to bite you. And you couldn't pick something off the floor without him trying to attack. And as a first-time dog owner, I was just completely overwhelmed. And I would go on to forums and Facebook groups and ask for advice, and no one could really give me an answer that made sense. And so I bounced around from different training approaches. Nothing worked. Most things made it worse. And we ended up in a pretty dark space where we were desperate to not give him up. We were desperate to not have to put him to sleep, but we couldn't live the way that we were living. And so I actually met my now business partner, and she took him for a month, and he was a completely different dog. And so I then got the journey that I wanted with him back. We started to do the adventuring and enjoying life together. And I kind of went, oh my God, everyone needs to know about this. And for all the dogs that are out there that are struggling, who might think there's nowhere else to go, there is absolutely a next step, and we have to bring it to as many people as possible. And so we've grown from there. We've now got over 1,500 members across the UK. Again, neutral walks happening all over to just bring people together. And I think there's such a power in the education combined with the community. And I think that's what a lot of people are missing, is we're being able to bring it together. So yeah, you do have a dog trainer, but also you could go out on a walk with them and connect with them, or go for a coffee. And it's not a big deal because they've got your back, but they're also helping you on the journey. And what we see a lot is our members then going on, making progress, and then giving back to new people and charities and rescues. And yeah, it's cool to see the community spirit that comes with it.
Whilst it is important to talk about the business and you know, the way you founded the business stuff, it is a lot about the founders themselves. So I want to know a little bit more about you.
Okay.
What is it that drives you? What gets you up in the morning?
Oh my goodness. I am a very all-in person. So I think that once I set my mind to something, I can't help but not. I think it's really funny that what was I listening to? I was listening to something the other day, and they were saying, the best entrepreneurs are the ones that instead of their free time, that's their driving time. So for a while I was working full-time business, but also full-time day job. It didn't feel like I was going to start a second work after my day job had finished. It felt like I was getting stuck into the bit that I loved. And my poor husband is very tolerant, but I'll be like, I'm just going to do this one thing, or can I just have half an hour? I've got a great idea. And I can turn anything into an idea about the business. And so there's no shortage of ideas or things that I want to do. And I think that, I find it weird when that doesn't drive people, when they're not hugely inspired by that. But I think I'm really good at finding the thing that makes me go all in.
You probably spend a lot more time with your co-owner than your husband. Right.
Well, luckily I managed to employ my husband now too, so
great.
it's fine.
We get that all the time. Both our wives are like, you just date because you spend so much time together. If it's not on the phone, or it's like
literally, I've got to send this thing.
Exactly. No, amazing. So if I was to give you 2 minutes on a stage in fact, I was to give you a megaphone.
Okay.
This megaphone is a magic megaphone. Because when you speak into it, it speaks to all of society.
Great. Wow.
Now, what message is it that you'd like to share?
To the whole of society.
Whole of society.
Okay, that is a really big question. If I had a megaphone that could go to the whole of society, I would tell them that the current narrative in the dog training industry is not the whole picture. There is so much more than clicker training and the simple things that people are taught. There is ethology and body language and social status and things that are either demonized or not understood because people don't go beyond the surface layer. You can go there and you can commit, you will find an understanding in your dog that is literally like no other. And we've seen it so many times. We've seen people getting their lives back, but they're truly enjoying the dogs in front of them. And the dog is getting the chance to genuinely be a dog. And I think that that is something that a lot of people don't know they're missing.
Having a dog change someone's life, right?
Well, and I thought it would change it for the better. And for a while it changed ours for the worse. And it is like, we have heard some stories from the people that join us. They are walking at 4 a.m. because they're too scared to see anyone. They have stopped having family over because it's too much of a risk. They're not able to have children because their dog is possibly going to be dangerous in that situation. So there's the other side of it that I've got to now, which is I'm actually going away for taking my dogs to Portugal in January. So we get to spend a load of time exploring. I'm going to do a hiking trail with them. Like, that's everything that I love doing. They get to bring the joy to that. But the opposite side of it that no one's talking about is that dark thing where things get really tough and people are paying thousands and thousands of pounds to not get the help they need and still be stuck in that state. And that's changing their lives in the worst way.
And just in interest of time, just last couple of questions.
Yeah.
Success. What does it mean to you, and how has it changed since starting the business? Or has it changed?
It's a good question. I think that I've struggled with it for a while because I've never been money motivated. So I think it's easy if you're chasing a number or you're chasing monetary value. It's never been about that for me. So I think that I can be a bit of a criminal for not celebrating the wins, because as soon as we achieve something, it's like, but there's so much more to do. Yeah. There's so much more that we need to do. There's other people that I need to help. I think that I've realized along the way that I have some deep-rooted people pleaser tendencies that maybe make success hard. It never feels like I'm good enough or doing enough. And I think that in the world of social media, everyone's got an opinion. And so I've had to start to grow a bit of a thicker skin to actually be able to pause and see the success. I think that we're saving dogs from being euthanized. We're helping owners get their lives back. And if we can just keep doing that on a daily scale, it doesn't matter if it's one person or 100 people, it's absolutely worth it. So I think the success is getting people out of the state that I was in and helping them through that.
And just lastly, like, how do you deal with difficult situations and decisions? Because you have a very calming energy about you.
Wow.
It's very, it's nice. It's,
okay.
So, but that doesn't just come from any, unless it's like, some people are just born with it. Some people go through certain situations and they learn to become a certain way. Like,
yeah.
What is it for you? Like, how do you?
I think my husband somewhere just laughed at the idea of you saying I have a calming energy.
Oh.
I think I'm typically quite highly strung, so I'll take that. I think that I'm growing and realizing a lot along the way. I've had to let go of perfectionism. That was a tough one. I've had to let go of trying to make everyone get it. I think for a while I was working harder and harder, and I was pulling some crazy hours because I was desperate to try and get everyone to see what we were talking about. And I think I've had to realize that there are going to be people that don't get it. There's going to be pushback. There's going to be people that absolutely want to see you fail just because you're being successful. And it's not personal. And so it's still a work in progress. I'm definitely working on it. But I think trying to take a step back and remind myself that I cannot run myself into the ground, leaning on the team and not trying to be a hero and do everything, I think is important. And just being aware that for everyone that has a negative opinion, there's 100 people that have seen it and know it and live it every day.
Amazing. And finally, to Cam, where could people find you?
You can find us on all social media, at Honest Hounds on most platforms, or over on our website. Give us a follow, come and drop us a DM. I love to chat. We've got a brand new app that we've just launched. It was lots of time and hard work. So you can download that for free. You can check it out, see what we're about. And yeah, come and join a community that's trying to see things and do things differently.
Amazing. That's perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.